All right, so before I show you how we pivoted to retail, I'll try to give a demo. But I will say that we pivoted to retail because 185-ish investors, venture capitalists, said no to us for a large variety of reasons. Mostly that doing hardware is not cool anymore. That's for China to do. A startup going against distribution of big incumbents is hard. And some of these were nice to have applications and not enough of a must have application. But an example of Ring took a different route where having a camera on your doorbell is not must have, it's totally a convenience item. But because their prototype was a Raspberry Pi with a camera in a 3D printed case that you could Velcro to your door, they could make 50 of them on week 2 and give them to all of their friends and families and start getting product market fit feedback, because prototyping something as simple as that is trivial, whereas prototyping and getting product market fit for a consumer robot is very hard. We were going to be looking at year 2 of the company before we would deploy 50 robots and start to get that kind of feedback. So Tony, how did the map come out?
Okay, so what happened was, this is one of the great things. The map came out well,
okay.
And then I was adjusting it, and just as soon as I finished adjusting it, my laptop ran out of battery. So who knows? Yes, it made it in. Yeah, so
thank you.
Let's
use this one.
All right.
So for those of you who don't know Tony, everybody should know Tony.
We know Tony.
Everybody knows Tony.
Tony.
Tony from Stanford was at Willow Garage and now works for Ologic.
He was originally at the HBRC.
Oh.
Very young.
10 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Ross expert and just general prototype extraordinaire. So the TickTock, I should mention while he's setting that up, we needed some office space when we got the company started. I was working from home, my kids were driving me crazy, I needed a place to go, but did not have funding yet to pay for an office. So Ted back there with Ologic, he was kind enough to say, you can hang here. I'm not running an incubator, but let's figure this out.
Nice.
And so we crashed in the corner of the Ologic office. We got to use his hardware lab, and he's building up an amazing team of not just EE work, which he's known for, but he's added mechanical engineering and general software work. So we could tap into expertise from people like Tony and Chad Rocky and others to help augment our team. And so it was phenomenal working with them. So thank you, Ted. What you're seeing here is a web interface. So let's talk tech for a minute. So what Tony did just before the break was walked around with a phone. What we're using here are Asus Zenfone ARs. These were the last Tango device that will ever be made. They were one of 2 commercial devices to be made. There was the Lenovo Fab 2 and then the Asus Zenfone AR. This sold a bit more and was promoted a bit more heavy.
Is the companion to switch would map the robots on?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
You got the companion over there?
Yeah. And so the phone runs Tango and does all of the SLAM for us. So the mapping is done on the phone using the Google provided APIs for mapping on a phone. That map then got shot up to the cloud and stored in Firebase, which was a system that Google bought years ago. It's a really good cloud system for multi-devices to store data and have a real-time database. So this map is a pretty crappy floor plan of the front of this room. It's ugly, but what's not shown here is all of the 3D visual features that the Tango device used to actually make the map. So which one is that one?
Oh, I thought we were going to do the delete on the cabinet robots.
I guess we did. I think it's called Alexa. Hang on.
Or Echo?
Oh, Echo. Yeah, where's Echo? There it is.
Yeah. It's try Teleop.
No, I'm good.
Oh wait, but it's on the wrong map.
Okay.
Yeah, so Teleop it and then switch to the right map.
All right, we're doing this live, folks.
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to flip over to the phone so you can see another thing we created. So
Yes.
while he's
We
doing
have
that,
teleop.
let me talk about what has happened so far. So the Asus Zenfone walked around, made a 3D visual sparse feature map, saved it, sent it up to the cloud. This UI here, put this back in, is displaying the map, but we also made an interface that can display all of our maps. So these are all of the maps that this robot has. There's a bunch of sound files that can be uploaded from our web UI, and there are even scripts and animations that can be managed in the web UI and pushed down to the robot. So I'm going to select this map, HBRC.
Yay.
For some reason the robot came up.
And there's the position of the robot there, this little white.
That's actually a lie.
That's where it last reported before it died. But the idea was this web interface would show you multiple robots where they were. You can manage goals, you could manage points of interest. This was really a developer debug tool. It was never really made robust enough for consumers yet, but it was useful for us for debugging. So let's give them one more set to restart it, and then I will show you what the companion app looks like.
This is an example of alpha software from a terminated company. You know.
Yeah, we have not touched this code in months.
What happened to Tango?
So Tango was renamed AR Core, and because AR Core is because the V2 was so different, they gave it a whole new name and a fresh start, and there's no backwards compatibility. But AR Core is what comes with high-end Android devices to give you local augmented reality. So you can throw a virtual character on the ground and sort of walk around it. AR Core doesn't have all the great large-scale mapping and depth sensing that Tango had. Hopefully we'll see some of those things come back. But right now, Apple was setting the trend there with ARKit, and AR Core is the equivalent for Android. Yes, and so the unfortunate thing is that both ARKit and AR Core, while they do give you 6DoF localized tracking, they don't give you large-scale mapping or persistent mapping today, but that will of course change. If you or I wanted to play an augmented reality game right here, and we both wanted to point at the ground and look at the same surface and see the same virtual character running around, you and I would need to have the same frame of reference, so we would need to have a shared map going through the cloud between us. So this is obviously going to come to AR Core and ARKit, and when it does, that's going to be really awesome for robots, because now you'll have multi-agent lifelong mapping on iOS and Android, and then you're just one Unity app away from making a robot. Any luck, Tony?
We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll burn that bridge. Yes, this is the whole weird thing where we have to unplug the robot and then replug it. We never solved that USB issue. Oh, and the app.
At least you're making it entertaining, Tony.
Welcome to HBRC.
Hey!
All right, so here is the
We
companion
got it
app.
going. Enjoy it while it lasts, people.
All right, so this is the 2D companion app. This also was meant for really debugging. So I'm going to add a point of interest. I'm just going to call this desk.
And is this publicly available?
No.
Is it privately available?
It is not yet. We hope to make the code available at some point, but we can't promise that right now for some reasons that we can't really talk about.
So there's basically, I think, obstacles that are stuck in the map, so it can't work. So if I help it, we basically need to clean up the map.
I need the song.
Yeah.
All right, but what you are seeing is real time, the position moving.
What we're
So
seeing
Tony's
is
using the
Tony
same
bailing it
app.
out.
Tony's using the same app, and it's so the robot is sending its pose within the map constantly up to the cloud through Firebase, and my companion app that you're seeing here, as well as Tony's, is syncing that in real time, and the web UI is showing that as well.
It's using the Tango?
Yes, it's using the Tango Slam to know where it is within the space.
There we go. There's some real motion.
All right, so I'm going to try the voice command real quick.
There's only one part of the map that is good. Here, we'll do some back and forth moves so you guys can see it actually doing its thing. So this is it doing its thing and me not teleoping it.
When it jolts, does that affect the map?
Oh, the app crashed. Or something happened. Did you touch something, Ryan?
Nope. But you can blame me if you like.
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm just asking. Oh, we also have annoying sounds that we can play. Like, I'll spare you the cleanup song, but this is what happens when a goal got rejected.
Play the Barnington?
We have some kids here.
Oh yeah, they know the cleanup song.
Tony, I can't get this one to localize. Let me try.
Yeah, the phone. You might need to reboot the phone. Sound must be off.
I'm going to try a different app because this is my favorite app of all the apps we built. For those who are familiar with ROS, there is an app called RViz. It is the robot visualizer. We use augmented reality. So we have the augmented reality robot visualizer.
All right, I think we're done here. I don't think.
No success?
No.
Nice.
One more. This app is great.
Here's all the
Oh.
phones.
Sorry, wrong cable. Too many cables. Wrong cables. Apologize. I'll get back to the slides in 1 second. I just really wanted to show this one app. Is it still running, Tony?
No, I killed it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to drain the phone battery.
Okay.
My natural instinct plug in phone.
Is Alexa still on?
No, I killed it. I'll turn it back on if you want.
Yeah.
Can somebody help Brian with the,
Oh, there we go. Come on, wake up.
Here, I'll get the app back. What happened? It's the app seems to be in some sort of like crash loop. You know. Like,
All right.
here, give me another phone. Do we have any beta?
All right. So the phone won't. Oh, there it goes. Notice the icon on the right? It's RViz. Extra R. So spoken like a pirate.
Hello.
So, oh, I did localize. So,
Okay. An app is now running and does not seem to be crashing. Yay! Yay! But
we
now
built
that
a
I
lot
say
of
that,
robots.
we're gonna
Where
crash.
is Echo? Gosh. All right. I will have to give up on this, but I'll show you videos of it. The nice thing about RViz is that it shows you what the robot is seeing right from your phone in context.
You want this back? Or?
No, it's okay. Thank you. It's actually really hard for a lot of people to understand maps and how they relate to space. Like, I dare you right now to know which way is north and where the podium is and so forth. It's harder. It takes more cognitive thought. But if you're just looking through your camera on your phone, it's obvious. You can see where the points of interest are. You can see if the robot sees a blockage, right, in real time. So I'm going to pause doing demos there, unfortunately. So after the talk, maybe we'll have a little bit of time for that.